Hi. So let's review this business about going from an isometric to um, perspective drawing. And this is a big transition to do this, and um, I think it's time. So what I did here was I kind of like faked out what I think it would look like if I used 3060s, and they would drop down here, and if you get all this right, these are all parallel, aren't they? All of these are parallel, and yeah, and it looks pretty good considering I didn't have it. Sorry, I don't. I don't know where it is, but yeah, it looks not quite right. You know, this would be a perfect equilateral triangle, and so would that. This would, and the rest of it looks pretty darn good to me. This would be more like that. Okay, so that's it. Then this is a sketch, so it's fine. So that's axonometric. So when you want to do perspective, what you do is, like at the bottom here, this is fine, but now let's just pinch this in a little bit. And look at how I'm drawing harder now too. I'm leaning on it, right? And when you draw, you pull a little bit and make marks, okay? So do you see how this looks more like we're looking down on it? This is called pinching it. And I'm gonna turn this way, and it's easier. I don't wanna get up here and try and draw this way or this way. I always spin the page. I know I'm gonna go this way, and again, this is my axle, right? Like my XYZ, right? That's my maybe Y over here and then Z down here. Yeah, so here I'm gonna pinch this one too. Just a little bit. Then I'm gonna turn this way again. Now this one here, pinch this one too. Okay, doesn't that look a little more like perspective to you now? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's all it is. And I showed it to you in SketchUp where the camera's on or the camera's off, right? The lens is on or the lens is off. So isometric is a contrived kind of way of working that architects do because they don't want to manage perspective. Because it's an effort to manage perspective, and I'll show you what I mean. If you do perspective like what I just shared with you, and you have this cube, and you start doing this kind of thing, like this, and then here you come back this way, and you start to compress this one too, and then you turn this way and you start to compress this one too. What happens is as you go back in any direction, you have to diminish it, don't you? It diminishes a little more, and a little more, and a little more, and a little more. And it's the same in this direction, a little more, a little more. And that's what makes it so appealing, is that it's perspective. It diminishes. Do you understand this, guys? No? I'll talk to you in a second about it. So what's happening, and then let's look this way too. This way it is too, because this is a three-point perspective. It's dropping this way too. And I'm not going to teach you three-point perspective right away, but I want to talk about it right now so you understand just this theory. But the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is 2-point. But do you see how that works and how it looks perspective-y, doesn't it?
Yes.
We cool? Okay, so this is a lot of work because everything's different. Every line's at a different slant. Everything gets compressed and smaller. And like I could sit here and like stop this here and here, and then start again. But you know what I mean? And let me show you how I tone things when I draw in pencil. I lay the pencil down like this. I put this triangle here, and then I just bang up against it. You see, I picked one side. That helps, doesn't it? This is a little bit sloppy here. I could take my eraser. This is a good eraser for this. I put all these in the list, and you need them all. The pink pearl is the one that's the one most precision. God, this one got all melty. Ooh. It's like a melty candy or something. Gross. This is called an art gum eraser. They also call it a kneaded eraser. It's weird. It's got another skin on it still. That too. And this is good for feather. God, this is just terrible. It's good. This is good for feathering things. Like watch, I can get in and just gummy, and I'll come in here and I can just clean that up really nicely. See how quickly that did that? And it doesn't really disturb anything else. This is good for like gradients or it's just really super subtle. Now I'll come in here and fix this. I'll put the edge on this side and sharpen this a little bit. And come in here and And this one I'm going to give it more tone now. Since I'm doing this, it's good to keep it nice here. Pull it over. Am I still under here? Yeah. Okay. Let me know if I go off camera. I want to not go off camera. So here. Okay. So is that all clear, guys? It's easy to do. Now this, if I wanted to come down here, I could project off of the other one here, right? Like when I do this, like I did here and here, I could look at this and go, I think that would be here, wouldn't it? And then maybe there's more here. So now I can do this, come down this way and come back, use these. I use these to help me understand, because like I said, that was my first 10-2. Now everything else is gonna go uphill like this. And this would, and this would. And so now I'm going to tone these two. Excuse me. Okay, that's good enough for now. And again, I can use the same. God, it's so weird. This thing won't come apart. Let me try a little more here. You come in here and just clean that up too. Okay. So that's perspective, isn't it? Isn't that more interesting? Do you like that better than oblique or isometric or orthographic? Yeah.
Yes.
And so this is kind of how I would do presentation art. I might smear this to get it to look a little cleaner. And then I'll work from this direction now. So I made one side the dark side. Now this side will be light, and it'll go to almost no value at all by the time it gets here. And this side I'll make a little darker. The eye loves contrast. So you always want to create contrast right at the corner. You work from like a medium value and then let it get light. You work from a darker value and let it go to medium. Does that look, do you see it? Is it too subtle or do you see it? Do you see my gradient going here, guys, or no?
Yeah, I see it.
A little bit?
Yeah, I can see it. It's like a really light grayish. Like
Yeah,
gray.
and you know, it's a little subtle, but I like it like that. So I'm not gonna do any more. Now, if I wanna cast a shadow off of this, I might do this, which would be this corner here, and then it would just do this. And then this would do this somehow, and then this corner here would go this way, and this is it. And then this part would go back this way.
Can
So
you
now I'm
move
gonna
up
do
a little bit?
Yeah, let me do this. So this is the shadow here. And I have to turn this because I don't want to draw ever vertical like this. I don't ever want to be doing this. Because look at all the bones I have to move and all the muscles. If I do it sideways like this, I can pitch my elbow into my ribs, and then I can come in here. Watch this time. I'm going to draw really dark. I want the shadow to be really dark. So I come in here, and I really push. I want you to look there. I'm going to do that. I don't know, this is weird. I've never done this before. Okay. Is that okay? Yeah, I'm going to do this. I come in here, I do it like this. And see how I lay this down? And it's actually sharpening the pencil when I do it, right? And I'm laying the graphite down now. This is hectic. Come in here, pull a full stroke there. And each time, see, I'm controlled up here, right? I can decide where to start up here, and then I use this to discipline my other side. Because otherwise I'd be doing this and I'd be making a mess. Does that make sense? And so here, pull. And then here, let's kind of clean this up a little more, and then I'll just come in this way. I don't want to come in too hard here because I want to vignette out. I'm done. I don't want to, vignette means like to kind of just let it go. Okay, and then here, there was probably something that needed to be here. And this one did this one would too. So, and back here. So this would be like this then probably. And I'm guessing, but that's okay. I can guess, right? So I'll do this again now here. And what I love about, using SketchUp again, and the thing is that, like I said, I studied, I took Rhino a couple times, and I took Form Z, I took, what else was there? All of them, freaking Maya, not AutoCAD. I forget all of them over the years, because everybody would always tell me, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, oh, you got to do this, or, you're not going to work, or whatever. And it's a lot of effort, and this is just an easy, and when you use SketchUp for me. So that's my world, and I'm happy about that. So let me back out now. I got to pull out here. So you see, it can all work, right? And then now I haven't put any scale to this. If I put some scale here, okay, so we're starting to make environments now, right? Play structures. Got it? Put somebody down here saying, what are you doing? I Oh no, he's got a gun. No. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, or you know the typical one where the guy's hiding from the helicopters under somebody's pool in the backyard. They come get him. Um, anyway, you can just play and have your imagination do whatever it wants to do. And so that's perspective. And what did I start with? I started with this Y, didn't I? Yeah? And you never want to draw this dark. Notice I'm trying not to draw this dark because this is always about value transition. This is, you put lines here just heavy enough to tell you where to put the values. Your heavy lines go on the outside to define this. Your heaviest, most gutsy line of all goes on the ground line because it really anchors it to the floor or to the ground. Okay, we good with that, guys?